Great evening, Kay. Hello, Rosemary. Yes, I'm jumping on a little bit early so I can say hello to everyone. And also, because I'm going to be doing a little live, see how that works for everyone. So let's see. We want to go public, go live. Okay, so, hello. Cherise is here, Tina's here, Annette's here. Let's see, Moni Rada. Hope I said that right. Rosemary's here. Got lots of people. Dee is here. Hello, Dee. All right, let me just. Oh boy, what is happening? I'm just checking out what's going on Facebook before we officially get this started. Okay. All right, so that's going live. All right. Yeah. Oh, we have me from different angles. Don't know if I want that to happen. See, this is why we come on a little bit early. Mañarda. Okay, this is why we come on a little bit early because I want to make sure that all the technology is working. Okay, so yeah, it is working. Okay, very good. Well, I think it is. Nope. Yes. Okay, that's working. All right, maybe I'll take comments from there. So, saying hello to everyone. Just so you know, the chat room is private. So I can see you, but no one can see what you are saying to me. So you can ask questions as we go along. We've got 2 minutes. So make sure you have something to drink. I've got my coconut water and it has little bits of pulp in it. It's so good. It's so good. It's like, I feel like I'm in Hawaii. And if not, just have some water for hydration. Water's good. And other than that, in 1 minute, we are going to start this event. So let me get my screen ready for you. Woo, we're going to have some fun. Who's ready for some fun? Woo, woo, woo. Here we go. Screen. Okay. There we go. We've got screen. We've got me. And in 1 minute, we are going to begin the class, the master class on becoming an influencer. I just want to give everyone, oh yeah, see people are coming on. Hi, Annette. Hi, Luciana or Luciana. Oh my goodness, the names, I always want to be pronouncing them correctly. Oh boy, everybody's ready. They're shouting out, we're ready. Good, lots of energy. I love having lots of energy. That gives me lots of energy. Dee's ready. You know, and I've got lots of energy. It's good to go. All right, it's that time. I'm going to hit the record button. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jessica Sittermer. Thank you for being here and learning about how to become an influencer. We're going to be talking about the 5 mistakes you may be making that are stopping you from having good influence. And we're going to have a Q&A at the end. Now, here's the thing. For those of you who are watching the live streams on YouTube and Facebook, I'm only answering Q&As within the actual webinar, easy webinar. So if you want to ask a question or if you want to get some of the good stuff that's going on in here, you must press the link and come into this room. Otherwise, just feel free to watch. I am going to go through a lot of material tonight, and I want to make sure that you are really concentrating on the slides and the material I'm giving you. So I'm not going to be on face-to-face with you the whole time, but I will be here. Hello, Wanda. Good evening to you. So I'm going to turn off my camera now, and we are going to get into it. All right. So who am I? Well, I am the girl who will walk up to an adorable dog and take a selfie. That's right. I do not know this dog. Maybe you do if you live in Los Angeles, but what a cutie she was. And I just took a selfie. And that's how I roll. I just love people. I love animals. Thanks to my nephew, I love babies. So I may be new to you though. So let me share how I became an influencer. First of all, there was nothing magical about it. I don't have a secret, secret to teach you. No, I just took action that other people admired. It started when I was young. I was always like this. I stepped up to be the captain of my JV soccer team. That's right. I did not say that I was on varsity because I could not make that team, which meant that I had to be captain of the JV team. I was the lead in my school plays. And when I was too uncoordinated to make the cheerleading team for football and basketball, well, I created my own team. We were the hockey cheerleaders. Yes, we wore our boyfriends' jerseys and sweatpants. It was much more about spirit than splits. In college, I didn't like being hazed when I pledged my sorority, so I became pledge mom once I got in, and then I abolished hazing and went on to create a creative, fun bonding program. I went on to be president for 2 years of that sorority, and after college, I pursued a career in the entertainment industry. I produced 3 TV shows and had a rom-com script produced by an Emmy Award-winning producer. Simultaneously, for all you busy people who are multipreneurs doing multiple things, maybe you have a full-time job and a side business, simultaneously, I created a position for myself at the Cinematographers Guild as their career coach. Now, when I wanted to influence and grow from just camera crews to producers, directors, writers, and actors, and all the IATSE unions, I realized that the guild was not going to let me do that. So I created my own company. That expanded to coaching entrepreneurs. And now, in addition to my coaching company, I travel the world and I coach business people, thousands of them. And I have influence because I created the opportunities to share my knowledge that people want and like so that they come back for more. And even if you've never stepped up to influence but want to now, y'all, you got this, okay? Believe me, it's as simple as making the decision to share. So I happen to share a lot. Like, I share it all for everyone to see. I share my dog. I share my crazy healthy eating habits. I call them crazy because I can name more things on the menu that I can't eat than I can. I work remotely, so sometimes my office is at a lake house. Sometimes it's at a hotel where I'm doing a speaking event. I am not afraid to show my silly side. I will put myself up there. I helped my friend bake brownies, but really my help was just eating like the chocolate off the bowl and the spatula there. So that's how I roll. I even share my not so behind the scenes look at my weird housekeeping hacks. Housekeeping and cooking are 2 not very strong skills of mine. So like as in this picture you see, I bring the laundry to my bedroom right across from the drawer so I can just put it in there, skipping the whole step of folding it in the laundry room, which then means I just have a pile in there. So, hacks like that. I share quotes from my books and blogs. I share my family because they are the #1 thing that I value. I share because if you're going to learn from me, you have to know me. You want to resonate with my style, right? Like attract like. And if we're alike, then if I can do it, you can too. That means something, all right? If you are attracted to my style, if you are like me, then you can do this because I can do this. So today I promised that we were going to talk about the 5 mistakes that keep you from being an influencer, where to influence, how to influence, and why to influence. So let's jump in with mistake number 1. Not believing you are an influencer. This is most people's issue, and one that only you can solve because you made it up. The definition of influence, and I literally Googled this, the definition of influence is the capacity to have an effect on the character development or behavior of someone or something or the effect itself. Have you ever held the door for someone and they smiled and said thank you? You had an effect on the behavior of that person, probably for the rest of the day. When I first started in the industry, the word master was used, okay? You wanted to be a master trainer, a master coach. Before influencer, the buzzword, as you might remember about a year or two ago, was expert. Everyone wanted expert status. Before that, it was celebrity status. You see the pattern? The buzzwords change. You and your message don't. I really want you to get that, okay? This is about having confidence in yourself. I can give you tools and strategies for building a solid foundation for your business that you can feel proud to share, AKA influence with. I can give you the exercises for your mindset so you have strength when you need it to battle the voices both in your head and from others so that you can push through with your message even when you're feeling down. Because believe me, I'm speaking from experience and from the experience of my colleagues. The bigger your influence, the more people are going to want to see you fail. But that is not about you. I really want you to get that. That's about them. All right. So you can let them take you down, or you can feel your feelings about it, like I do. I feel hurt. I feel scared. Sometimes I feel like an imposter. Sometimes I feel defeated. But then you got to pick yourself up again and keep going. Because I'll tell you something, you look at those influencers and as happy and handsome and beautiful and rich and surrounded by luxury they have haters too. I mean, look at Tay Tay. She wrote an entire song about shaking it off, and I have danced to it often. And I've had other people dance to it with me when we all need to shake it off. All right, so being an influencer is about believing that you are an influencer. So if you believe in yourself, your product, your service, whatever it is that you came on here to learn about, whatever it is that you want to share with the world, if you believe in it and you can speak to it, then you can influence with it. So mistake number 2, copying other influencers. This one is the big one for me. All right. For me, this one is the number one issue that frustrates people and causes them to quit. Copying other influencers. Here's what happens. So you see an influencer who you admire doing something that you think is really cool. So you copy it. The problem is, the reason it resonated with you was because the influencer was being his or her authentic self. But if you don't understand what's underneath the influencer's reason for sharing, when you share in the same way, it comes off like flat, like fake. So then you get disappointed that your post didn't go viral like the influencer, and that sets you back and causes you to doubt your whole career path. Let me give you an example of this. All right. When I first started out, I'm sorry, but something is confusing people here. Okay. This is what happens when you have multiple things going on, multiple websites. Okay. All right, so let's get back to this. I apologize, everyone. So when I first started coaching, I went to an event and was so inspired by one of the exercises. You lost me? Janet, you lost me? I think I'm back. All right. When I first started coaching, I went to an event and I was really, really inspired by one of the exercises that I tried doing it after with my group. So I was coaching a group back then, and this speaker I saw had a huge audience, and he did it with them, and I was so incredibly moved by it that when I came back and I did it with my group, it just fell flat. It did not have the same impact. Well, a year later, I actually did a certification with the speaker from that event where I was taught how to do that exact same exercise. There were so many nuances I learned, and now I understood the reasons beneath for doing the exercise and how it was meant to help others. So just copying what other people are doing is not going to get you the results that the influencers have. You must understand the techniques that they are using, the marketing strategy. Yes, there's a strategy that goes on with it so that you can make it your own in your own authentic voice. Then people will genuinely care about you and what you have to say. All right. So that is really an important thing for you to get. If you just start sharing everybody else's stuff, you are really going to be just copycat version, and people are going to pick up on that. However, there's a lot of great things you can learn from and then make it your own. Number 3 mistake. Dun, 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 inconsistency. So if you loved a TV show that was on for 2 seasons and you knew it was coming back, but not for 3 years, you'd move on to another TV show, right? You'd watch something else. You know, if it came back, maybe you'd remember that you were really into it. You probably forgot the first 2 seasons already, but maybe you binge watched it before. How about TV shows you really like, but apparently the masses don't? So they get canceled before the season ends. You don't know if the vampires are going to take over the earth, or if the couple that was getting divorced will find their way back to each other, and you're bummed out about it, you know, for a few minutes until you turn the channel to watch Chicago Fire. All right, so you see where I'm going here? If people like your content, but you're inconsistent, they're going to find another influencer with great content, and there are plenty out there. It is your job to have a marketing system in place so that you are consistent. When you show up day after day, people know they can count on you. If you have to write on your social media page that you're on vacation for 5 days, like I do, and won't be on social, you know you're doing something right, okay? Because people are like, what's happened? Where is she? And then they have to go down and look, and they say, oh, she's on vacation. All right, 5 days to give you a vacation, people will wait for. For a social post once a week or a newsletter twice a year, people are going to move on. Why? Because they're not going to see you as a trusted business person or an influencer. They're going to see you as someone who has a hobby. So it's really important that you put a system in place to keep you consistent. Mistake number 4. Oh, look at that girl. That's my baby. That's my baby Barkley, Charlie Barkley. She's a sweetheart, but she, like many business owners, try to please everyone. See those puppy eyes? All my dog Barkley wants is to people please. Good thing she's not a business owner. You're likable, right? You have a universal message, right? So what you do or sell can change everyone's life, right? Except not everyone wants to hear about it from you. Listen, it's not personal. I love music, right? When The Cure sang Pictures of You, and I use that word sang loosely as his voice is like nails on a chalkboard to me. See, I may have just lost you sharing that opinion. But when Angie Hart covered it, the beauty of that song gave me goosebumps. So speak with your voice and the like-minded people will find you. It is better to have 500 very active people who hang on your every word, buy every product, and share you with every friend than 10,000 followers with only 10 who engage with you, right? I mean, listen, The Cure is doing just fine without me as a fan. But then again, Angie Hart is really excited to have a smaller group who absolutely love and are passionate about the way she sings the song. So who is your ideal customer? What I want you to do, not maybe at this moment, but after this, is to write down the details of him or her, a single ideal customer, until you are crystal clear on this person. When you are marketing, speak to that one customer, and everyone who responds to you will be your ideal customer. And the beauty is what Barkley learned. See, when I first brought her home, my dad was not a dog person. Poor Barkley tried and tried to get him to pet her. She's a people pleaser. Eventually, my dad saw the strong love that my mom and sister and I had for Barkley and how happy it made us to snuggle with her. And slowly, my dad showed her more affection. And the more affection he showed her, the more of a bond he felt from her. And now he loves her as much as the rest of the family. When you speak to your ideal customer, people would benefit from your service or product, will see how your fans are responding to you and get curious. When they get to know you, they will be your fans too. All right, so trust that. You have the power to influence. Use it with the people who love your voice. This gives you the ability to be yourself through the good times and the bad. That's important also. You want to be real, okay? If you're trying to please everyone by showing them that your life is just picture perfect and every day your hair and makeup are done and you've got, your driver picking you up and you're getting on your private plane because you think if you show this lifestyle, people are going to, want to be like you. But inside, you are having anxiety attacks and you just really wish that you could post one selfie without having a full face of makeup on. Like, if you're not being real or if you're having a bad day, like recently I sent out a newsletter and it was a really tough time and something very sad happened in my life and I shared a little bit about it and I got more response to that newsletter than any other one I'd ever written. And it just goes to show that my community was there to support me when I experienced a loss. And it was okay to talk about it. I didn't have to act like I was in the best mood, but I still wanted to be consistent with them, as in mistake number 3. All right. But I wanted to be real and not try and please everyone, but be myself. All right. Let's go on to mistake number 5. And I have been terribly guilty of this. In fact, sometimes I'm still guilty of this. It's human nature when you do a lot of things like I do, and it can be confusing, but it's really important that you are clear to your followers. And if you stop making mistake number 4, this really shouldn't be a problem because confusing your customers comes from trying to capture the attention of other people. All right. It comes from trying to capture everyone. So you target businessmen with a professional post about testosterone and business. Then you post a tip for getting your newborn on a schedule while your husband travels. Then you post about the benefits of starting business in your early 20s. Then you post about hitting the reset button in retirement. Then you post a poll, Gucci or Louis Vuitton. Well, while those are all important topics, you can catch that businessman with your post on testosterone. That is right. You got his eye. But then he sees your next point and he's just willing to pass over that post because, he's not a mom. So he'll just pass over it. Maybe on the next post, he thinks about his college age daughter on it. And so he's like, okay, I'll look at that one. By the time you are posting about retirement, he is losing interest. And then once that poll comes up, Gucci versus Louis Vuitton, he has stopped following you. All right. Because you can't be everything to everyone. As I said, if you post consistently in your voice to your target person, just because you're thinking like, I can think of my best friend. And if I post every post to her, it's going to be speaking to all of my like-minded people. And then, even though my best friend is a woman, it's still going to speak to the men who are like-minded because they're going to see, oh my goodness, she's having a big impact on all these women. What is it about? And then when we see my content, like right now, I marketed this to women, but I know I've got men on here watching. And this information is just as valuable to the men as it is to the women. All right. But I had to market to my target person. So let's talk about where to influence. So these are going to be the top 4. Social media. That is a big one. And you've got to market where your clients are. And that's going to depend on if you have a remote home-based business, if you have a service business, if you have a brick and mortar, if you're a restaurant or a clothing store, all of those things will differ. It will even differ with age groups. You might find some young ones on Snapchat, but you might find older people on Facebook. They might still be tweeting, Instagram is really big right now with just about everybody. So you want to be posting where your ideal client is. And don't get too caught up with, oh my gosh, I've got to post everywhere, because if your ideal client isn't everywhere, then you don't have to worry about it. They will find you. And eventually, as you get your marketing into a routine, you'll be able to post in more places on social media. Then you've got your website. You definitely want to have a personal website so that you can post blogs and you can be a resource. As long as you're a resource for people, your specific ideal customers, then they will keep coming back because they're constantly going to want to see, what are you doing? That's your influence. All right, inbox. So this means either PMing people on Facebook or DMing people on Instagram, or literally sending emails to the inbox. All right. Those are all ways that you can get personal with people. And in this day of social media, it's really important to be personal with people. Lastly, we have another one of those new buzzwords, collabs. It's not that new, but collabs means collaborations with others who both resonate with you and your ideal customer. So an example would be a travel agent and a wedding planner. So the wedding planner is planning the wedding. They're getting, the flowers, and they're taking them for the dress fittings, and they're getting the bridesmaids ready and the groom's people ready. They're doing the cake tastings. They're doing all that. But a travel agent can plan the wedding. They can plan the honeymoon. They can plan the bachelorette and bachelor parties and be in collaboration with the wedding planner. Now, this used to be called just business. I mean, they didn't have a name, collabs. It was businesses that had like-minded business would work together. Partnerships, they called it, or there were just lots of different names, but right now they call it collabs. So let's look at how to influence. So first we have the newsletter. Used to be called the e-zine, like an online magazine article. So with a newsletter, this is where your voice really comes out. This is where no one can do it like you. I can train everyone the same way to put together the same pieces of a newsletter so that it's attractive to people and it's professional and it fits your branding. But no two newsletters will be the same because no one's voice is the same. Again, this is a reason why you're not going to look at the way your ideal influencer writes a newsletter and then copy it and just change a few of the words, because number one, that's like plagiarism. But number two, like, it's not you, it's them. So you want this to be your voice. And in a newsletter, you want to create value for people, because otherwise they're not going to open it. There is too much. Thank you for the love on that. There is too much out there, okay? And people don't want to have to open another thing unless they're going to get something out of it. So make them laugh. Give them tips that they need. Give them advice. Give them tools. Give them inspiration. But give them value. It's not about you. It's about them. What's in it for them? Next, we have influencing by using a blog. If you're not blogging, then it's, it's the kind of thing where, listen, if you're doing a newsletter, the article and the blog can be one and the same. I do a little bit of both. I use my newsletter and post it to my blog, but I also use my different resources that I have to create other blog posts on other sites. So you want to think of different ways and where to use your blog. And social media is a good place. On your website is a good place. It's even a great conversation starter for your private messages. Like, you can say, I was reading your post about your mom and dad, and this blog article I wrote made me think of you. I hope you get something from it. Enjoy. It could also help with your collabs. You can do a blog. Let's say you are an artist and you are working with a businessman who wants a piece of art commissioned. You can do a blog post on a conversation where you're talking about his business and the questions that you go through and ask him to make sure that you've got the right piece just for him. So you can collaborate. Both you're featuring his business and you're featuring you as an artist. So think about the 4 ways that I told you are the best ways to influence. This is where you do it. All right, next we have dun, 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 Q&As. So if you want to be an influencer, you got to be the one in the know, right? How else are you the one in the know unless you are answering the questions? So again, I do this in multiple ways. On my Facebook business page, I have my Espresso Yourself. It's kind of coffee talk time with people. And people private message me or they put it in the comments and they ask me their questions and I answer one every single day. So talk about consistency, right? They know that they're going to get a business question. Now, typically, this is where I talk to my entertainment industry people. But again, as business people, we all have the same skills and tools and mindsets that we need. It really just depends on what industry you are. So you can really apply them to any of them. And then I also do it in, like I will create a picture in Canva, and then I will post it on Instagram, and then I'll put either the whole blog in there, which is a Q&A, or I will, put part of it in the title there, and then I'll put the rest of it in the first comment. Okay, so that is how another way to influence. And finally, we have branded quotes. You've seen people, quoting others, right? So when they're quoting others, then you know that those people had some influence on them. Now, when you start sharing your own quotes, then people are going to share your quotes, and other people who see that are going to say, well, who is this person? So I take quotes from my book. I take quotes from when I'm speaking and I say something, I'm like, ooh, somebody write that down for me. I got to quote myself on that. Or I will just have morning musings. I'll wake up first thing in the morning and write some things down. So all of that you can create branded quotes so that people will see things and they will know that this is something that you are constantly doing. All right. So you can make them, I've shown you a couple of different ways that I do it here, but create your own so they'll recognize it, that it is yours. All right, now we're going to do the closed eye exercise. Somebody can't hear anything now. I want to make sure that you can hear me because this part is really important. So if you are watching, say, okay, so I'm seeing other people can hear me. Okay, good. Why to influence? This is probably the most important piece of the puzzle. All right, so it's going to be different for you than it is for other people. So I really want you to search your soul right now and think about what's possible for you. When you think about what it is that you do, and it might be that you are a stay-at-home mom, right? You're a stay-at-home mom. Maybe you have a side business and that's why you're on here. Or maybe you work a full-time job that you'd like to retire from and then do whatever your side business is full-time. Or maybe you want to do it all. Maybe you want all the things, as the buzzwords go. Everyone keeps saying all the things. So whatever it is, I really want you to think about one thing that would be really amazing if it became a reality 5 years from now. So like for me, the biggest stage I've spoken on was to 7,000 people. And I was the keynote speaker. And for me, that was just a dream come true. But what I would love is to be speaking in front of a stadium of people, to have an impact, to impact over 100,000 people at one time. And that might mean that I've got a full stadium and that I am being broadcast out live virtually, and 100,000 people are being influenced and positively inspired by my message. So if 5 years from now I was up on that stage and you see me out there on those screens shouting out to people, that would be amazing. Now, maybe for you in 5 years, it would be to pay to send your kid to college. Maybe for you, you have philanthropic dreams and you'd like to build a school somewhere. Or maybe you want to own a home. You have a dream home that you've always wanted. What is possible for you 5 years from now? So when you think about that, I want you to think about a moment in time where this is actually a reality and what that would look like. So what that means to me, coming from the movie industry, is that it's like a scene in a movie. Like I always use Forrest Gump as an example, right? So in Forrest Gump, it's the story of a man from the moment he's born until the moment he passes and all of the milestone moments along the way. So for you, those milestone moments, he had in scenes. They were short scenes, but when you put it all together, his life was put together in a 2-hour movie made up of short scenes. So what I want you to imagine right now is your short scene when this possibility today has become a reality in 5 years. So if I'm doing this right now, I am imagining myself on stage. I'm imagining myself in a sequin dress, a short, like cocktail sequin dress. And I have a really cool microphone. It's the kind of thing where you can't see it. And it's really high tech that they've created. It's not created yet, but it will be around in 5 years. I have an amazing set design. It is so cool. We've got a light show that's going on. I've got backup dancers because when I'm live, I love to make up songs. I just like kind of, it's a weird talent I always have that I never thought I'd get paid for, but I take other people's songs and make up my own words to them. And I just start singing. So I've got backup dancers. All right. And it's going to be a fun show. We are opening it up and I am just imagining that the curtain goes up, the spotlight comes on me, and I say my catchphrase and the crowd goes insane. They just start screaming. And I could, oh my gosh, I could feel it. I could see it. I could feel it. I could hear them. I mean, I can taste like water. And I can taste water in my mouth because I just had a drink of water right before I came on stage. And the room, I could smell like perfume and sweat, all kinds of stuff. So I want you to get that clear on the moment that you have created for yourself 5 years from now. All right. And now I'm going to ask you to play at 100% with me. Now, if you're driving, and I'm not quite sure how you're watching this and driving at the same time, but if you're driving, either pull over or, watch a replay and do this another time because you're going to have to close your eyes. So if you're in a library or a coffee shop or you're at dinner with friends and you're watching this under the table, go excuse yourself for a moment. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks because what you're doing is none of their business. And I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes. And I want you to allow yourself to just relax. So take some deep breaths in and out. Really, really relax. Because as you relax, you're going to allow your unconscious mind to move into the future. Because your unconscious mind is well aware of your past. It knows everything and remembers everything every moment, but it stores things away in different compartments. It's the same thing with your future. There's a path out there that you have the ability to create for yourself. You must see it to believe it. So what I want you to do is I want you to see it now. I want you to allow, with your eyes closed, your unconscious mind to take you forward, shooting forward, the speed of light. 5 years from now, even faster than that, y'all. Star Wars fans, it's like you're going right through into the future, okay? Keep those eyes closed. Stay with me. So your eyes are closed. You're 5 years into the future, and you are hovering over that scene. You are looking down. You see yourself, all right? See yourself. You look a little different than you do because it's been 5 years. See what you look like. Kind of check yourself out. What are you wearing? Who's around you? What do you see is going on? But I want you to do more than hover over yourself and see yourself. I want you to drop down and embody that future self. I want you to be that person. I want you to get inside and now look out through the eyes of yourself 5 years from now and take a good look around you. With your eyes closed, what do you see? Who do you see? Are you alone or are you with someone else? Are there many people around you or few people around you or no one around you? What are the sounds that you hear? Are there sounds associated with where you are right now? Are there any smells? Are there any fragrances? Are there any flavors? Do you taste anything? What are the feelings that you're feeling in your body, knowing that here you are 5 years and what was possible, just a possibility 5 years ago, has become a reality. You're standing in it. You're standing in the reality of it. And what are the thoughts that you're thinking to yourself, knowing that you accomplished it? You made this happen. You had help. You had a community who rallied around you, and with help from everyone that you accepted and you took in, you got right here, right now. And now what I want you to do is I want you to take all of that, and I want you to turn it up. Turn it up. I want you to take those, what you see, those colors, and make them brighter. Those sounds, make them louder. Those flavors, make them taste even better, sweeter. Those fragrances, just take it all in, breathe it in. Those feelings that you're feeling in your stomach, in your heart, yes, turn that up, feel it. Those things that you're saying to yourself in your mind, I want you to believe it because you got yourself here and I want you to revel in it. And if you have tears in your eyes right now, that is okay. Let them come. And if you have the hugest smile on your face, I want you to feel this at 100% and remember the way it feels to have this smile on your face. And if your heart is pounding with emotion of pride and joy and fulfillment, I want you to hold on to this and remember how it feels. Because now I'm going to take you back. I want you to go up. I want you to come out from within your 5-year self. Come up, float up in the air, back to your timeline. Zip back to now. Get into your spot where you are right now. Take a few deep breaths before you open your eyes. I know it's hard to let go of that beautiful future. But the good news is you have just created a memory in your future. And my belief is that there is no way that it would be possible for you to create that memory, that vision in your future if it was not out there waiting for you. And I have done this exercise hundreds of times now in the last 20 years. And I have had people call me and I've had the hair on my arms stand up as they tell me, and their voice is shaking so much that I'm afraid something bad has happened until they say to me, do you remember that exercise that we did? And I say, well, you're going to have to be a little more specific. They say that exercise where we looked at where we were going to be in the future. And I said, yes, okay, your future self. They said, I just drove off the lot, and the security arm that I imagined going up when I drove off working on my first union film, it just happened, and it all came back to me in a flash. And that's how it happens. If you commit to what I'm teaching you, if you commit to taking the action, if you allow yourself to be the influencer and share your voice, your knowledge, then you will create what is possible today into reality tomorrow. So now comes the work. And that is the facts. You must take action. You can't just imagine yourself into that future. You have to take action. So I want to start by asking you, did you enjoy this training? Did you learn at least one tool or strategy that will help you? Because then I'll know that I've done something for you. Oh, I'm just getting lots of yeses. Absolutely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what if you could learn even more to raise your influential status? That's what I'm excited about, always helping you learn. All right. So I have created my insider circle. And I am really excited to share this with you because I have had a tight community of all types of business owners. Some of them are here. I see them here. And they are anything from freelancers in the entertainment industry to entrepreneurs, to travel, to direct sales, to artists. And what makes this community unique is that there are no moderators. It's me in there. I am jumping on to laser coach you, to answer your questions, to adding on new business tools that will help you. And the thing is, that might not always be the case. One day, oh, thank you for helping me imagine a wonderful future. My pleasure. And I got to tell you, this place might not always be as small as it is right now, where we don't have moderators, where it is me that is coaching you. So come and take advantage of this now, because as I said, I add on tools that will help you. For example, our conversation igniter. I think this is what makes this coaching program different than any other one. We just launched this. It's a monthly magazine with done for you conversation starters. You fill in the blanks to personalize them. It's additional coaching on the conversation style of the month. So Anita loves it. She's in my group, so I see that she's giving me some love right now. This was something that I found was a hindrance to a lot of my business owners. They knew they had a network, but they didn't like networking. And the reason they didn't like networking was because they didn't know what to say. So I literally gave them these conversation starters. So this month it was coffee and conversation. So with coffee and conversation, I gave them 10 conversation starters for juicy coffee talk, a checklist to help them fit these into their schedule, and then follow up on conversation starters. So those follow-up starters were also fill in the blanks. So you can have confidence that you're going to know what to say. You can even keep the notes in your pocket, and before you walk up to someone, you can like review it. And they're really simple. There's not a lot to memorize. All right. In addition, there are monthly business topics. So like this webinar, every month we have a different business topic that I come on. And again, it's me. It's not someone else giving, like, I'm not bringing on somebody to teach you about Pinterest or to teach. It's me and my views and my opinions on it and how it's worked for me and what I've learned. All right. I also do a live Q&A each month. That means that it doesn't matter what business you're in. And it doesn't matter if your question applies to everyone or just you. You specifically have a question. I answer it. And you get that interaction with me all month long. So these are just some of the topics that we have talked about in the past with this group. We've got Facebook deep dive, how to find and maintain motivation, language for powerful reconnections. And by the way, some of these topics were requested by the members themselves. Sometimes I do a poll to see what they want to learn about that month. And then we had blogging for business, which is an all-time favorite. People love that. And we talked about blogging tonight. So what I will say is I have to shout out Michelle, because Michelle, I'm always shouting her out. She is so collaborative in the community and she is a doer. She shows up and she really takes advantage of everything I offer, which is why she's having such incredible results. And she says, I have been working with Jessica, and in one single year, I have exceeded every goal I set at a faster rate than I could have ever imagined. Also helpful is participating in the live monthly coaching calls, where you have access to Jessica and laser coaching on whatever issue you are in need of help with. And she's worked on some big TV shows, some big movies, and she just keeps having success in it. I'm so happy for her. We also have the Mastermind Group, a private Facebook group. And in that group, I do challenges so that I can help you get to the next step. I help you connect with other business people, all right, because they're in different industries. When I was talking about getting help from people, they talk about, there are a lot of celebrities out there and influencers who will have you think that they do it all themselves. This is a big lie, okay? It's something that they want you to think. But the reality is they've got help. They have someone cleaning their house. They have someone cooking their food. They have someone babysitting their kids. They have someone making their appointments for them, doing their travel for them. And they show up and do what they do best. But they don't show you that behind the curtain. So what's nice about this group is that you've got collaborators who can help you. So let's say you are terrified to make a phone call. You can ask one of the other people in the group, hey, will you pretend to be my assistant and call this person and make an appointment for us? I mean, that makes you look like you're really important, right? Like you've got this personal assistant. I mean, this is something I've been training my people to do for a really long time. So if you have questions about how you would do that, we could talk about it in the Mastermind Group. You also get to exchange ideas of what's working now. So something, when somebody has a win, they talk about it. Like, for example, we have new features all the time. And right there, one of the things I do is our word of the month. So every month I put up a word and it's something that's supposed to be inspirational. And someone here wrote, progress is being made, completed something I was stuck on. This helped. So if they weren't focusing on that, it might not have gotten unstuck. So you can find an accountability group or a partner within this group. All right. So there's one of my faves. She's always another really active member in the community. If you're feeling stuck, I want you to ask for laser coaching. You ask for it, we schedule a time, and we dive in so you can learn from other members. She even shouted this out. She was so excited because she broke through on one of her obstacles. So now with all of this, you're probably like me. And you're watching this and you're like, I want this so badly. When is she going to talk about, what it's going to cost? Oh yeah, you're making deals with yourself. Like I used to do that. Like I've seen, I've been in coaching programs that cost $999 a month, right? I've been in coaching programs that cost $97 a month because there wasn't as much engagement from the coach. So like I'll sit there and make deals with myself. I'm like, okay, if it's less than $100 a month, I'm going to do it. So like thinking about, so here's the thing. I am obsessed with your success. That's what brings me joy. That's what gets me fired up. When you succeed, I get excited. So you get all of this for $25 a month. That's it. The Conversation Igniter, monthly business webinars, monthly live Q&As, the membership site, the Insider Circle community, the private Facebook group, the laser coaching, all the new features, plus if you join by the end of this course, let me bring up the offer for you all. So you can either go to that website or you can, let me see where it is. That's not what I want to do. I wanted to do an offer. Okay. If you do this in the next 15 minutes, let me broadcast it. You now have access to it. And if you have questions, you can ask me about it in the chat, but the offer is up there. You will get the bonus course, Blogging for Business. As I said, it's my most popular. And I've been asked, well, I just want the Blogging for Business. Can I get it? Yeah, you can. You can get it for $70. That's how much I sell the course for. Or you can just go for it. So as far as I know, from what I've seen, this is the least expensive coaching program around. Now, if you buy into the thinking of more expensive means better, in this case, you're wrong. Okay, this is an intro special because I recognize that I'm new to a lot of you. A lot of you found me through a Facebook ad or an Instagram, and you want to get to know me. I also wanted to get to know you, so I surveyed and found out the biggest problems that people are having with their businesses. And of course, the biggest problem, and it has not changed, I've been doing this for 20 years, it's still number one, is that they don't know enough people. So if you're struggling to figure out how to grow your contacts, think about it. If you know 200 people and 10% respond to you when you reach out, so that's 20 people, and 10% buy from you, that's 2 people for every 200 people you know. So ask yourself, do you know enough people? And do you want to cut down on the time it takes to grow a huge network? Because that's what I teach you to do. Problem number 2 is that you don't have enough time. Well, I'm going to just tell you that not enough time is just not a lie. You make time for what what you want. So the reality is, if you believe that your business is important to you, but you don't have enough time, I'm going to teach you how to prioritize and determine the most critical actions you have to take for your business. So the time you do have can be devoted to your business and it will be best spent. We do a lot on productivity in the Insider Circle because, believe me, we have a lot of people who are juggling multiple things. So either you own that you don't want to make the time, or you join the Insider Circle and I'll help you find the time and make the most of it. Problem 3, you don't like that you have to do everything, but can't afford to hire people to help you. Well, I've said it myself. I love speaking on stage. I love creating products. I just wish I had a partner who would set up everything for me and sell and do my marketing. Well, as I said, the little behind the scenes secret that every successful entrepreneur tries to keep from you, I'm not going to keep it from you. I have 2 people who are working with me now because I could not do this alone. I couldn't scale and grow if I didn't have help. And as I said, people have help, whether they think they can do it all and be a great parent, a spouse, an entrepreneur, a chef, a housekeeper, all while taking exotic vacations, writing best-selling books and making millions. They're not doing it alone. And if you want to get to where they are and make the money they're making, you can't do it alone. You need a community. You need people who can help you with different things. You need to be able to barter in certain ways. All right, so the Insider Circle is your first step. I have one-on-one clients who pay me $1,000 for my coaching program. We work on their branding, their social media, their sales techniques, because most people don't like selling. I mean it. We cover marketing. I give them tools and laser coaching on specific topics they might need immediate help with. And when you join my Insider Circle, you get all of that for $25 a month. You are still watching because you know you need help. You know you need to do something differently, or you're going to find yourself a year from now with the same problems. So if $25 is too much for you to invest, then I can't see how you're going to succeed. And if you want to make more money, get more clients, and wake up excited for your day, then let's do this. If you want to keep struggling financially and damage the relationships you already have because you keep bugging them, if you want to wake up with knots in your stomach every morning, then this program is not for you. I know when you want something, you figure out how to make it work. So don't waste any more time. Today is the day to take action and become an insider. Woo! Jessica, I joined the Insider Circle last year. How do I get the Blogging for Business course? Okay, so here's the thing. If you joined last year, then it is already inside the blog. It's already in there. So you go into the Thinkific site and it's there for you, because I believe that everybody who has been with me all along should get all of the perks, right? So as new perks come out, you will keep getting them. So there you go. All right, you're welcome. And let me go back in this feed here so I can see some of the questions you put up earlier. Boom, you're talking about newsletters. There's been tons of webinars lately about them. Let me get to the question page so everyone knows that we are doing questions now, since we have just gone into questions. All right, let's see. So we've got, there's been tons of webinars lately about them. Yes, I've been building my business on social media for the last 5 years. Do I need to add this? Okay, well, here's the thing. I say yes. I have been doing newsletters since 2008 when I first started my business. And I have been doing them ever since. Now, here's what has changed. From 2008 to 2019, a lot of young people, not that I'm not young, but I'm not a millennial and I'm not in my early 20s. And I will say, you know what, maybe it's time for me to put my face back up here for you since I'm answering your questions. Okay, so I would say that they have been using social media to build their businesses, and they've been doing it very successfully. So when I started doing this in 2008, one of the very first products that I bought was how to create a successful e-zine. That's what newsletters were called back then. That was the buzzword, e-zine. And then everybody had an e-zine, so then it went back to be calling a newsletter, and they called it different things. Well, you know, slowly but surely, the industry got saturated with people who were doing e-zines. So then people started teaching about social media, because in 2008 is when Facebook really started picking up. And then Pinterest got big and people started talking about Pinterest, and then YouTube and creating videos on YouTube, and then Snapchat, and then, oh gosh, what was that other one? I can't even remember what it was called. And I actually, starts with a P. I actually did a seminar on it, and Periscope. And then Instagram got huge. So, I mean, all of these, marketers started creating programs just on these social media platforms, and they got huge. And they had 100,000 followers on Instagram. They had 1 million subscribers to their YouTube channel. And then they did one thing to mess it up. And then in 2018, they lost everything. YouTube shut down their channel. Instagram cut them off. Facebook put them in Facebook jail. And all of a sudden, the people, the influencers started realizing my entire list was on Facebook. It was in Instagram. It was in YouTube, and they just took it away from me. So the newsletter is yours. You own those contacts because they gave you permission. So now people are asking about how do they, create a newsletter, because it really got big. When all the new newsletters started popping up, the trainings for them, when that day that Instagram and Facebook shut down, because that's when it really shook everyone that had been a social media influencer. They realized, wow, I could lose all this, or this whole thing could shut down. See, for me, if I was planning a Facebook Live event and something got messed up or shut down, I could email everybody and say, hey, this got messed up and shut down. Here's a link to my webinar room or my Zoom room or whatever it is. Meet me over there. If you just have a social media following, that's not possible. All right, so let me see this. Okay, then I see. How often do you send a newsletter? Okay. That has changed for me over the years. When I first started, I was doing it once a month, because in 2008, they weren't as popular. So to get something from me once a month was good. It was, enough that it kept them engaged, but not too much that, it was clogging up their inbox. Then more and more people started doing it. So then to really stand out, you had to be doing it 4 times, like once a week, so that people were seeing you more than they were seeing the people who were only posting once a month. But then it became too much for everyone. They're like, all right, now I'm on 100 people's newsletter list. I'm putting this all in a different file. I'm creating a new email just to send newsletters to, so that I don't have to see what I don't want to see. And it just kind of changed everything. So I can tell you my whole story, like in the private room. And let's see, I invested with somebody. I have to write a book. All kinds of things. All right, well, cool, very good. So so it's very different. It's very individualized. It depends on what your market does. And I also poll my market. I ask them, how often do you want to hear from me? How do you want to hear from me? There was a time where I was doing 2 written emails a month and 2 video blogs a month, so they can watch a video or they can read. All right, let me see what else we got here. So, all right, you said, let me see if you've got Facebook questions. You said no copying influencers, but understand why they do what they do and their marketing strategy. Is this something you teach in the program? I think you're saying, you said no copying influencers, but understand why they do what they're doing. I think that's what you mean. Understand why they do what they're doing and their marketing strategy. Yes, that is definitely something that I teach in the program because, as I said, it's individualized. It's going to be different for you. If you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, then, you know, I need to help you. But the nice thing is that every month there's a new topic. So you will know why you're doing what you're doing. And then your marketing strategy is something that we're going to create personally to you. All right. So I really want to do this and I don't get paid until Friday, or I want to do this on the 1st of the month. Okay. So here's the thing. First of all, I don't want anyone stressing out over this. Okay. Because personally, I know what it feels like to feel the need to invest $12,000 in myself and then go into debt over it and be stressed about money. I don't want anyone to stress out over my program, okay? This is listen, $25 might be a meal for someone's family, and I don't want to take the food out of your family's mouth, all right? I believe that, I give a lot of free content away. This is available every month, but just keep this in mind. If this is resonating with you right now, if you really resonated with that, where you want to be in 5 years, don't let another day go by. Because the more, you might say, okay, I'll wait until Friday, or I'll wait until next month when I get paid and all that. The reality is Friday might come, or, the first of the month might come and you're like, maybe I won't do that. And then that month was the month that there was something that you were meant to see that would have changed everything. It was the tool that you needed. So this is an ongoing program. So yeah, you can join at any time. You won't always get the same bonuses, but you can join at any time. But the real gift in it is that every month, what my topic does is speak to different people. And I even had a girl, not this month, but the month before, she reached out to me and said, because we did an entire one on prioritizing, and I save everything for 3 months. So that means, like, when that 3rd month is gone, so is that training. It's gone. And, if you want to see that prioritizing, it moved her so much because she was like, wow, I really hadn't been thinking about my future in that way and how quickly time goes. And I mean, think about it yourself. Have you put something off in the past, and the next thing you know, 2 months have gone by, a year has gone by, 5 years have gone by? So, you don't want to be missing out on something. All right. Let's see. Oh, I think that, let me see. I'm not sure. You're in. Woo woo! Awesome. Glad to have you. All right. Let me see how much time we have 53 seconds. All right. So what I'm going to say is that for those of you who are in, yay, I'm so excited. I will be personally greeting you in the Facebook page, and so you're in. All right, I'm excited. I'm excited for those of you who have done this, and I am looking forward to working with you. You're registered. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, look at all these people. I'm sorry, I was up further in the chat. I couldn't see everybody, but I'm so excited. I can't wait to help you change your future and live into that memory you created for yourself. We're going to have fun. We're going to tailor it to you. And I'm going to say good night to everyone. And thank you for being a part of this. And I look forward to what we're going to create together. Bye. I feel all your excitement.